Hello, hello, everyone. So, actually, I did this the last time I did this. I want to only record me, and I don't know how to make it only record me. So, I'm going to put me on speaker, but now all I see is Tanya. Why do I only see Tanya? I mean, I love you, Tanya. Let me pin. Okay, I think we will find out. This will be recording me and not all of us together. Although I love you all. I you may or may not have known that you were actually in the recording. So, consent is key, and now you know you might be in the recording. But either way, if you are catching this on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. And for those of you that are present here tonight, thank you so much. I love doing these moon circles, and I can now say moon circles plural because this is the second one. And I had a great time the last time, and I'm really happy to bring this to you all. Some other people may trickle in as we go onward, but I'm going to take a moment here and just bring my whole self to this present moment. And I encourage you to join me in that practice of taking in a few deep breaths, of course. And each time you do that, just imagine that you're pulling your energy back towards you. So, if you're anyone like me, it's so easy to just get scattered throughout the day. Not only do we have these constant dinging and pingings of all of the devices and all of the other things of our lives that call our attention. And what we're here to do, at least what I'm here to do, and what I hope to provide for you is just a short time of pulling it all back together so that you can recreate. I meant reconnect, but perhaps we're also recreating as well so that you can reconnect to the parts within you that help you access um, some some truths, some wisdom, the wise parts within you, so that moving forward, you can continue to remain in touch with those parts and learn from them and live a more conscious life. How about that? So, if you haven't turned off any notifications, if you need to, or silence your phone, or even hide it, put it away, I invite you to do that. And hopefully, you have some sort of tasty beverage. I'm over here with some water because, water is life, always good. And anything else you need to do to make yourself comfortable for this time, I welcome you to do that. I'm going to share with you a little bit about the moon. You know, I love the moon. And then what's going on with the moon right now so that we can orient ourselves within this particular moment. And then we'll do a couple practices to allow that channel within us to open up and gather the wisdom within ourselves and within this world and these planets and everything that is going on. So, it's a full moon, and this full moon is really big and expressive, and that is partly because it is in the sign of Leo. So, those of you that were here last month, we talked a lot about the themes of Cancer, which is nourishing and nurturing ourselves. And I hope that you have been able to do that because now is the time to really just express who we are in the world. So Leo is a very loud sign. It's, sort of that roar of the king of the jungle, like we say about around lions. And this sign in particular really calls us to connect with the parts of ourselves that are ready to express and be creative and have courage and shine, shine, shine. But the other thing that I really like about Leo is it's though Leo loves the spotlight, it also is associated with the sun, and the sun is all about shining light on other people and shining light on the world. And so for me, part of my association with Leo is about how I shine in the world. And so I offer that question, that contemplation for you. How are you showing up in the world? How are you shining in the world right now? And as you might remember about the full moon time of the month, of that lunar cycle, of that creation cycle of creation cycle, this is that time of fullness of expression within the lunar month. So not only do we have that very expressive, very almost in your face Leo energy of this moon, there is the actual full moon that's going on. So it is a big spotlight action right now. Now, what is particular about this full moon is that there are two things going on. One is minor compared to the other one. So, the minor thing is that this moon is in opposition. It's not perfect, but it is in the opposite sign of Pluto, which Pluto is in mythology, Pluto is the god of the underworld. So it is about what is unseen. It is about hidden truths. It is about a shadow, the shadow material. So there may be a little bit like when I say, hey, how do you want to show up in the world? What within you needs to be expressed? There may be a little bit of a tension there. Like, it's like that feeling of, I don't know if you remember the movie I Heart Huckabees. This is a random reference, but there is a scene in this movie, I Heart Huckabees, where there's this character and and maybe she was a model or some sort of actress or whatever, and she is conflicted. I just remember she's in this bonnet, and there's just this scene where she's like, look at me. No, don't look at me. No, look at me. No, don't look at me. So it's like that part of ourselves that really wants to be seen, but then it's scary to be seen. So if some of that comes up for you, just know that that is part of what's going on here. And I see that that's definitely resonating with one of you. Thank you for that thumbs up. That, feels affirmative. Um, and yeah, so the other thing that's going on is this moon is in an exact square. And this is a little astrologically nerdy, and I am totally an armchair astrologer. So I'm just going to share with you what I know, and there are plenty of places where you can read about this more deeply. But this full moon is in an exact square with Uranus. Okay, so Uranus is in some ways a little bit similar to Pluto because they both are about change. But Uranus is about disruption. It's the planet of rebellion. It's about innovation. It's about really creating some change because things are not going the way they need to be going. Things need to be going maybe a different direction. So the thing with the square is it's not that pole like an opposition, but it does create a little bit of friction, some tension going on there. So again, as we think about expression and Uranus is also a planet of revolution. So this is very much about in the collective. So I encourage you as you think about how is it that I want to show up in the world and that I have been showing up in the world, because of course the full moon is a time of culmination. So I really recommend that as we do these practices, you think about what's been building for you over the past 6 months since the moon was new in Leo. So there's that energy, that 6 month pull of energy um, from that when the moon was last in Leo in a new moon time. So as you think about how you've been showing up, what has come and what has culminated in that way in your life, what is really at the forefront right now for you, you may also think about how is it that I want to show up for others? How is it that I want to show up to really create some freaking change in this world? And again, there may be some fear. And what we're really talking about is courage. Like, how can you be courageously you in this world in a way that is meaningful and that can help create change for other people? Not to place my values on yours, but if you're here, there's a good chance that you want to make positive change in this world too. And so, what this moon is calling you to do, in my opinion, is how can you showing up in the world create that positive change for others? Maybe in a way of shining light on others, allowing your light to shine so that it lights up the lives of other people. I don't know about you, but I find that to be very compelling and worth my attention. So, again, thinking about where and how we spend our attention. Okay, so that's my spiel about this moon and where we are at right now. If anything that I said resonated or you want to take any notes, please feel free to do that. And then let's transition into a little bit more of a guided meditation on this. So, once again, please feel free to be comfortable. If there's a way that you can make yourself maybe 10% more comfortable now and here, please do. And if it feels good for you to close your eyes, I welcome you to do that as well. So, as we move to that inward space to connect with the sources of wisdom within, you start to feel your breath moving in your body. Just notice that ebb and flow of the breath in and the breath out. And if you're in a place where you feel comfortable making an audible exhale or sigh, feel free. If there was any moon that calls us to make noise, this one's it. And if you do choose to make sound, notice how it feels in your body. The sensation of your vocal cords. And as you start to settle in, I invite you to bring your awareness to your head. Perhaps the third eye placement in the middle of the forehead, the crown of the head, wherever your awareness naturally lands. And imagine light, like sunlight, pouring in through the crown of your head into your forehead. And start to feel that energy slowly slowly sinking down. So as you breathe and draw in energy like sunlight in through your head, let it sink down into your face. Drop down, settling into the heart center. Just notice what sensations arise. And start to fill your heart center up with this light, this powerful, beautiful light. And then imagine almost as if you were able to open a door within your heart. Imagine that light then pouring out, shooting out to the world around you. Maybe there's even a particular place or person that you'd love to send that love light to. And just imagine a flow of light coming into your crown, going down, sinking down to the heart, and then just shooting out to any and everywhere that needs it, or wants it, or welcomes it. And notice where your love light goes. Notice where your love light flows. And then take in another nice deep breath. Exhaling audibly if you'd like. Maybe do that one or two more times. Maybe even roaring if you'd like. Really embody that Leo energy. And slowly starting to come back. Opening your eyes when you're ready. Just taking notice of this present moment, the room you're in, and then writing down any insights that you had during that meditation. And then I have one or two questions for you to reflect on as we come to our closing. So feel free to grab out your journal. I'm grabbing out mine. So, thinking back to what we talked about at the early part of this circle and any insights that you've had along the way, my question for you is how can you be more of who you are in this world? What does really and truly showing up for you look like? We'll take a few moments with that. Once again, they are how can you be more of who you are in this world? Or to put another way, what does truly showing up for you look like? Then, one last question because with a full moon, we're at that tipping point in the lunar cycle. So, we're moving into a time of release, and this is a very potent time to let things go. So, my question for you is what do you need to let go of to allow this to happen? And with this, if you would like to create ritual around this, my recommendation is whatever it is that you need to let go of to allow yourself to show up in the world, to be more of who you are, whether it's a outdated belief, a relationship, a habit, whatever. It can be anything. You write it down clearly and then you dispose of that in some way, burning it, burying it, ripping it into tiny pieces and putting it into a trash can as a way of symbolically releasing this thing that you're letting go of. If you'd like to write it in a sentence, I'm letting go of X, Y, and Z, or you can just simply write it down. That will create a physical ritual of release of that for you. Now, of course, if you need to spend more time with these questions and really let yourself journal around them, highly, highly recommend that. Um, We are coming to the end of our time together. So, with that, I just want to say thank you all for showing up. This is a really sacred experience for me to be able to offer to you. And I love you all very much. And those of you that are here live, don't leave. I'm just going to end the recording, and then if anybody wants to share, we'll open some sharing. So, those of you that are seeing the recording, thank you so much for being here with me through time and space. It's an amazing world we're living in, and I look forward to seeing you next month.